Hello students, last time we have talked about the structure and the method of formation for this methane. Now we will be talking about the chemical properties of this compound with the uses of this compound. So let's start with the physical properties of methane. The very first physical property is, if we talk about the physical state of this compound, so the physical state of methane is gaseous state and with no any specific color and no any specific odor. So this is basically a colorless and odorless gas. The reason that why it exists in gaseous state at room temperature is the melting point of this compound is very low. It is below room temperature and the value of this melting point is approximate minus 183 degrees centigrade. Same as if I talk about the boiling point of this compound, the value is minus 162 degrees centigrade, and since the melting point and the boiling point both are below room temperature, that is why this compound exists in gaseous state. The third one, if I talk about the solubility of this compound in water, that is a universal solvent. So this compound doesn't dissolve in water and it is insoluble in water. Now, after the physical properties, we will move to the chemical properties or the chemical reaction shown by this compound. The very first chemical property is, we will deal with the very most important reaction about this methane, and this reaction is combustion reaction. As we know that combustion is defined as the burning of any substance in the presence of oxygen with the release of energy. So here when we go for the combustion of this methane, it reacts with oxygen, and here if we take the excess amount of oxygen that is required for the complete combustion of this methane, this reaction occurs with the release of energy. Since this reaction is highly exothermic, there the release energy may be in the form of heat energy or light energy with the formation of carbon dioxide and water as the another products. So this is highly exothermic reaction, and being highly exothermic reaction, this is the reason why this methane is basically used as a fuel. This methane is the main component of natural gas as well as it's the main component of biogas. Reason being, when we go for the combustion of this methane, high amount of energy is released that can be further used for the domestic purpose or as the fuel in vehicles. Now the amount of energy which is released by the complete combustion of this methane is approximate 890 kilojoule per mole. On the other hand, if we go for the incomplete combustion of this methane, when this doesn't get the enough supply of oxygen that occurs in the limited supply of oxygen, always also the amount of energy will be released in this case also, but here the amount of energy which is released will be lesser than the complete combustion. And with the formation of water, here one more different product we get. Since here the carbon is not getting sufficient amount of oxygen to react with, that is why instead of carbon dioxide, here the next product will be carbon monoxide. So that is about the combustion reaction. Now we will move to the next reaction, that is halogenation. Halogenation is the reaction in which a halogen atom replaces one atom of hydrogen from the formula of this alkene. So when we go for the halogenation of this methane, as we are going for the halogenation, when we made this methane react with chlorine as the halogen, here this one atom of chlorine replaces one atom of hydrogen from this compound, resultant the chloromethane is formed with the formation of HCl. This reaction requires a certain condition, like this reaction can only be performed in diffused light that can be indicated by the symbol H mu, that is the significance for the light. When in the presence of diffused light, when these two are made to react, the resultant is chloromethane. Now since this chloromethane again contains hydrogen atom that can be replaced by a halogen, so when we further give this the supply of chlorine and the sufficient condition, that is the presence of diffuse sunlight, one more hydrogen atom is replaced from here. Formation of dichloromethane occurs. As the subproduct, we get molecule of hydrogen chloride. When this dichloromethane again made to react with chlorine in the presence of diffused light, one more hydrogen atom will be replaced, resulting in the formation of CHCl3 that can commonly termed as chloroform. And finally, when this chloroform further made to react with chlorine in the presence of diffused light, the last replaceable hydrogen atom is replaced by the halogen, resulting in the formation of tetrachloromethane commercially known as pyrene, it is formed with the formation of HCl. Instead of writing these all steps, we can also write this in one step. Like when methane, it is made to react with chlorine, and here we are giving the supply of chlorine in excess. All the 4 hydrogen atom will be replaced once, and here the formation of tetrachloromethane with the formation of 4 molecules of hydrogen chloride occurs. So that is about the halogenation reaction. Now since we are having 3 more halogens here, instead of chlorine we can also perform this reaction with fluorine, or we can take bromine here, or we can also go for the iodination, that is iodine reaction, halogenation with iodine. If we talk about the reactivity of these all halogens toward this halogenation reaction, fluorine it reacts vigorously, and the reaction of chlorine it occurs with a moderate rate as compared to fluorine. Since the reaction of fluorine with a alkane it is quite vigorous, that is why to control this reaction, whenever we go for the halogenation with fluorine, we always perform this reaction in the presence of nitrogen gas, which gives the inert environment at that condition. Now, compared to chlorine, if we go for the halogenation with bromine, this reaction occurs with a moderate rate compared to chlorine. And while in the case of iodine, this reaction is reversible since the reactivity of iodine is very less. Like if I start with methane and made this to react with iodine, this reaction is reversible due to the very less reactive nature of iodine. By the reaction, one hydrogen atom is replaced. Formation of hydrogen iodide occurs with the formation of hydrogen iodide. Now, to perform this reaction in the forward direction, we need to use some strong oxidizing agent. And practically, what the strong oxidizing agent we use here is nitric acid, or as the another option we have hydrogen iodic acid. When we take these two oxidizing agents, they convert this hydrogen iodide into iodine, resulting due to that this reaction proceeds in the forward direction with a more speed as compared to initial. So by using these two, we can accelerate this reaction in forward direction. Now this is about the halogenation reaction that occurs in diffuse light. Instead of this, if we made this methane react with chlorine, and now this time instead of giving diffuse light, if we made this react in direct sunlight, this reaction occurs in the decomposition of methane, and by the decomposition we get lamp black, that is carbon, with the formation of hydrogen chloride. So that is the condition about direct sunlight. Now this is about the reaction with halogens. If we go for the reaction with nitric acid, this results in the addition of nitro group on this alkane, and this addition of nitro group is termed as nitration. This reaction occurs at the suitable condition of temperature and pressure. Like to perform this reaction, we need to keep 400 degrees centigrade with a 10 atmospheric pressure. In these kinds of conditions, the one hydrogen atom of this methane is replaced by NO2 group, resultant nitromethane is formed with the formula CH3NO2, and the formation of water occurs as the byproduct. Now, the next reaction is, as we have seen initially in the last part, that this methane, by the further oxidation, it can be converted into alcohol, aldehyde and acid. So as we go for the oxidation of this compound, we can get these three compounds. So that is the next reaction, oxidation of this methane. And here, since we are to form alcohol, the very first thing, alcohol by the oxidation of this alkane. So here we need to control this oxidation, and this reaction can be termed as controlled oxidation. By the controlled oxidation of this methane, the very first thing what we get is the formation of an alcohol, and that is methanol here. Like if we take two molecules of methane, when it is made to react with oxygen, the reaction occurs at 525 Kelvin, and the pressure required for this reaction is 100 atmospheric pressure. By this reaction, the limited oxidation or controlled oxidation occurs for this compound, resultant is the formation of methanol. Now, as we give the more oxidizing agent to this compound, this methanol formed will further oxidize to give methanol, that is the very first member of aldehyde homologous series. So when this methane made to react with oxygen further, Now this reaction occurs in the presence of catalyst, that is molybdenum oxide, and by the reaction we get methanol with the formula HCHO with the formation of water. So that is about the chemical properties of methane, and now we will be talking about the uses of this compound. As we have seen earlier, that this methane by the combustion reaction, it results in the release of high amount of energy. This is the reason why this methane can be used as a fuel. And as a fuel, it is found naturally as the main constituent of natural gas. About 85% of the total composition of this natural gas is formed by this methane, as well as it's the main component of biogas. And there, as a fuel, it can be used for as the domestic purpose, as well as it can be used in the vehicles to run our vehicles. The second use of this methane is for the formation of fertilizers. We need the hydrogen gas, and this hydrogen gas can be produced by this methane when this methane is made to react with steam. When we pass this methane over the steam, this reaction occurs, and the conditions required for this reaction is we need to take the rainy nickel there as the catalyst, and the temperature should be 1273 Kelvin. By this, the decomposition of carbon occurs like this, that it reacts with oxygen to form carbon monoxide, and the formation of hydrogen gas occurs. This mixture of carbon monoxide and hydrogen gas can be termed as water gas, and this water gas can further be used as a fuel for the different purpose. So that is, in the formation of water gas, we can again use this methane. The third use of this methane is when we go for the strongly heating of this compound. By the strong heating, it decomposes to give carbon and hydrogen, and here this formed hydrogen can be used for the different purpose as a fuel of rockets, or for the formation of fertilizers we can use this hydrogen gas. Now, there in this reaction, what the carbon we are getting, it can also be used as the printer's ink, as the paints, or in the boot polish this can be used, and this formed carbon here can be termed as carbon black. Now, the last use of this compound is, as we have seen in the last reaction, that by the formation, with the help of this methane, we can form methanol, methanol, and methanoic acid. So these compounds are highly useful for us, and for the commercial formation of these compounds, we can use this methane. So this is about the uses of this methane.